Did you know that the Wraith of God is an electrifying 72-page plus graphic novel, actually 75 now, with the stretch goal epilogue put in there that will blow your mind. Welcome to Aaron Live. This is the Ethernet edition. Yes. Shelly actually ordered an Ethernet cable for me. I actually went to Best Buy, picked it up. We plugged that sucker in. So it is the end of our internet problems. Hopefully. We'll find out, won't we? Actually, I don't have any trouble during the day. It's at evening when everybody comes home from work and everybody's using the internet that has screwed up my Wi-Fi. But now we've got this like 100-foot cable running from one far end of the house all the way upstairs to the other far end of the house. And so we'll see. We shall see if it improves the broadcasting quality of this show. Welcome, everybody. Let's see who's here. Wolverine is here. Kevin Tomset gives me a double hey hey. That is a Kirk little icon there, or what do you call it? Avatar. So I give a respect there. Jeff Stout's here. Man, the cover is awesome. I don't know which one he's talking about, but I think all three of them are awesome. Thank you, Jeff. JP Roca's here. Aaron Louvier is here. Jeff Potts, of course, he just had to schedule this oh, I see. He's saying that I just had to schedule this as he was getting ready to leave the house. You know me, I fly by the seat of my pants, man. That's why I rarely do anything, because I always call up my friends, all two of them, and say, hey, let's go do this tonight. And they're like, well, I can't do it tonight. I already got plans. I'm like, dude. So, I'm not a guy who plans ahead. AJ Tom is here. Statistical Zero is here. The Aaron limits. I read that in the radio control voice. Excellent. Good. I haven't used that intro in a long time, so I thought I'd run it. Aaron looks and sounds great here on the East Coast. Jeff's given me a thumbs up with the Ethernet test on the East Coast. Excellent there. The revolutionary himself, Mike Miller, is here. Welcome, Mike. Thanks for joining us. I'm here. Settle down. I was getting worried, but now that Past Master Dan is here, everybody can just relax and cue the dog barking. Oh my gosh. Closing the door may not help much, but that's all I can do. Shelly may be driving up, and that may be why he's spazzing. But anyway, okay, so what am I going to do today? Well, not a lot. Show's over. Thanks for coming by. No, of course I'm joking. Hey, if you'd like to back Wraith of God, by the way, and you haven't yet, and I assume everyone here has, but if you're just one of the few that haven't yet, the link is in the description of this video. So just zip on over there at your leisure and get behind the campaign. We are going to hit 100,000, I think, and I'd really like to get to 1,500 backers because to me, that's your readership. That's what you want, right? Is a lot of people seeing the book and reading the book. So anyway, and let me also do this because I never do this anymore, or I don't do it enough because it is important. So let's take a quick public service announcement. Yeah, so like and subscribe, or dislike, but still subscribe. And let's get this channel continue to moving upward. Hey, Clydeen Nee's here. Hey, Clydeen, thanks for joining us. Clydeen, of course, is one of the stalwarts of the San Diego Comic-Con, runs Artist Alley and has for years, and does a fantastic job. And we love her very much. So thank you for joining us, Clydeen. I was asking a stream the other night if you were wired or Wi-Fi, and was going to offer you to make you a custom length Ethernet cable. Definitely seems better now for sure from the Northeast. All right, good. Joe, oh, wait a minute, where'd he go? Joe. Hello, Aaron. Good, you're back. Yes, I'm back, and better than ever. Probably not true, but I am back. Statistical Zero is keeping the stats for us. 1,329 backers and counting. Thank you very much. Look at this. Leg Kick is here because Leg Kick is always here. Mike Miller wants to send out a hi to Clydeen Nee because he assumes Clydeen's on Facebook, probably not on YouTube, so she wouldn't be able to see these comments. So hi, Clydeen, from Mike Miller. We kind of had a mock nickname for me way back in the day because my pencils were so tight and sharp. I had a nickname called the Razor. That was just kind of like an inside joke that we can still laugh about in our old age. Hey, look at that. Josh Olive is here all the way from Alabama. Surprise video. Again, you're on a roll the past few months here, and I know I'm showing up when you least expect it. You can always count on me Sunday evenings, though. Yes, the sun is out, but it has significantly cooled off. So we did schedule finally. I broke down, and we're having a new AC unit put in, but they can't get in until November, so probably won't need it in November. But boy, it'll be ready to rock and roll when spring hits. So okay. Anyway, so let's take a look at a couple of things here. I'm going to flip over for a second to my other camera. Give you guys a quick look at, now we did this layout. This is Wraith of God page 4. We did this layout live, a few weeks ago. And I want you to see how it translated. Now this isn't the finished pencil yet. Excuse me, my autofocus is annoying me. Let's turn that off. Okay. So, oh, for crying out loud. Anyway, so you can see originally what I had kind of drawn here in that first panel, more of a side view of the Wraith tackling the villain, the cowboy, whatever that was running from him. And I kind of wanted to turn that so he's coming at us a little bit more. So we have this leg coming out here in the foreground to make this a little bit more dynamic, and he's kind of driving the guy's head into the ground. So you can see he has his arm, his hand on his head, and his other arm maybe underneath his neck, like maybe he's doing kind of a bit of a headlock thing, and driving him into the ground. Second panel is pretty much the same, although I might move this up so we see just his shoulder rather than his head, since I have changed this panel, panel 3, to this, which I think is much more interesting. So we've got the Wraith pointing the gun down at the guy and actually firing the gun, and which means his hammer would be tripping back. So I'm gonna have to move that thumb so it's like thumb is coming down and as the hammer trips back up. So this will all be black here, with a kind of the McFarlane sort of Spawn tattering going on here. And then we cut to the third villain in this sequence, and he's hiding behind a rock here with his gun out. And he's saying, come on, hurry up, hurry up. And then we cut to the sky and we see the full moon is parting out. The clouds are parting and revealing the full moon. And then we get sort of a scene here, or a shot here, with this guy is going to be in, most of this is going to all be shadow here with just the arms probably visible as he's turning into a, well, let's go ahead and spoiler alert, a werewolf. So you can see initially I had just 3 straight across here like this, but instead now this sort of, I'm going to have this kind of drop down like this, which I do a lot, and this will bleed all the way out to the bottom of the page. So I'll post this on the campaign page as soon as I tighten it up a little bit. Right now this is kind of a little too rough. I'm still doing, working through the figure work and all that kind of stuff, but I'll tighten it up a little bit and then post that so you guys can kind of see the process as we go along, because I want to keep you guys involved and informed of the progress on the book. I've been spending most of my time trying to get stuff colored, and let me switch my camera back now. I've been spending time coloring pieces like the third cover option, which you've seen and it's been posted, and also working on the trading card, which we're going to take a look at right now. In fact, like I'm going to do a little, I guess you'd call it a tutorial, but I don't know. You can kind of take it with a grain of salt. I probably do things very old-fashioned in terms of how I color stuff and how I use Photoshop. So you can, like I said, you can take from it what you can get, or you can just say, you're not even using the right program, Aaron. So let's see here. Let me address a couple more comments here before I jump into this. Joe says it's good to have good lunchtime entertainment again, and I think you're right, Joe, and I appreciate that. Prater says I like the revised look of the first panel. I think it is more dynamic. Wow. Kevin just got from the comic shop and found some Lopresti Dark Knight. Was that the 100-page Dark Knight story I did? It wasn't 100 pages, but it was in the 100-page giant Legends of the Dark Knight, or was it some of the Detective Comic issues I did? Oh, my Colt is right on, brother. I went and made sure that I got a Colt that would have been around in 1883. And so I'm on it, man, because I don't want Graham on my case. Super Jerry's here. AA Ron, ahoy. Thanks, Super Jerry. Appreciate you joining. I'm going to have got some new comic books coming. Well, they're old comics, but they're new to me that I'll be sharing in our little comic chat on Twitter as soon as they show up. No, I don't. I mean, I got a water pistol that's kind of shaped like a Colt, but I've been using online reference. I was going to go to a gun show a couple weeks ago and buy one, but they're too freaking expensive to actually get one that old. You know, like thousands of dollars, and I'm kind of like, yeah. Hey, Zaid Comics is congratulating me, and apparently he's getting ready to launch one on Friday. So keep your eyes open for Zaid Comics and what he's got coming next. Kevin, he says it was the Legends book. That was the Batman story that I wrote penciled and inked. So I kind of dig that one, obviously. Jerry found my What If just assembled. That's the Avengers book. That's one of the better books I've done in my career. That was a lot of fun. Drawing all the Marvel characters. Yeah, that may be the way to go. I'm gonna have to kind of look into that because I would like to have some actual handguns that I could, pose with and point at my face without actually accidentally shooting myself. Oh, here we go. Joe's going to drop some Star Trek trivia on me. Did you know Walter Koenig knew his character did ever meet Khan, but didn't tell the producers so he would have more of the part in Star Trek 2? Oh, I'm sure I don't know. The funny thing is Shatner probably didn't even pay enough attention to even remember if Chekhov had met Khan in the first one. But I think that's pretty funny that I would do the same thing. I'd be dumb and go, you guys, I wasn't even in that episode. How can? And then it'd be too late and they'd cut my part. Ooh, airsoft version of a Winchester rifle on a stream recently. It looks awesome. Wow. I'm going to have to look into that stuff. Okay, so let's take a look and let's see if I can do this and share the screen and I'll talk you through what I'm doing here. Okay, so you guys can all see the Esther card, right? Yes, you can. Okay, so let me move my Photoshop screen here a little bit. All right, so what I've done here is okay. Oh, actually, I want to show you something real quick too. I was going to do this before, but I forgot. Okay, so this is basically what I'm using. I've got this old Wacom tablet, or Wacom tablet, however you pronounce it. Excuse me. This thing is, it's 15 years old, maybe 20 years old, but it still works. And I got my little pen, and I just draw on this pad, and it draws on the screen. And I know a lot of people have the you know, the newer ones where you're actually drawing on the screen itself. So, but I am not going to get a new one until this one doesn't work anymore. And as long as it works, I'm using it. Okay, so that's what I am using. That is the tool of choice, if you will. Prater wants to know, are you making playing cards with characters from this? One of the stretch goals, if we get to 120, I had to move it back because it's so freaking expensive, but I wanted to do an Ace of Spades with the Wraith of God on it because I thought that would have been really cool to do that. So if we get to 120, which, you know, is possible, then I'm going to do that. And that'll be like a freebie for everybody that backed the campaign. So. Okay. So here's my arrow. Okay, so what I did was I took the black and white line work, right, the drawing, and you can see, let me scooch this over just a hair. You can kind of see you can see where the borders are right here and up here, where I've kind of indicated where the border of the card is going to be, right? So that would be what we call the trim line. So I'm probably going to color outside that a little bit just for a little bit of bleed. But anyway, so I scan this, and I scan my black and white drawings as a bitmap. Okay, I don't scan them as a grayscale or in color because that just increases the amount of work you have to do to clean it up. This pretty much gives you a clean scan, and I do it at a pretty high resolution. I do these at 1200 DPI, but scan them as a bitmap. Okay. So then what I will do, and to give myself a little bit of bleed, I'll go ahead and copy this. I'll set up my little box using the box tool, the little, you know. So then I'll go up to the top in the scroll bar and just basically hit copy. Okay, then I'll go up to edit. I know you can't see this part, but I'm telling you, I'm going up to edit and then pull down to, I'm sorry, I'm going to file, create new, and that'll create basically a new file the same size. Then I'll go to edit and I'll paste it in there. And there it is. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, you can see over here in the channel layers paths box there, I'm going to flatten this image. Okay. And then I'm going to reduce it down a little bit. I'm going to go to image and I'm going to go to mode, put it into grayscale. And then from bitmap to grayscale, then I'm going to go back to mode again and go from grayscale to CMYK color. Okay, so now I'm at CMYK color. So now I'm going to switch over to channels, go from layers to channels. And that's going to give me all my colors, my CMKY, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. I'm going to go and tap on the black channel and highlight that. And then I go in here and I'm going to go duplicate channel. Then I'm going to get this black copy box is going to come up. Which I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I don't think you can. But a duplicate channel box comes up. and it's going to say black copy. And I'm going to say okay, and then it's going to create a black copy in my channels. Okay. So then I go click on the CMYK channel, which highlights all of the color boxes, but does not highlight the black copy. Now I'm going to fill this with white. So I have to go over to my color bar and make sure I have white in there. Then I just go ahead into edit, fill, 100% normal mode. And then I fill it and we got nothing but white, right? So if I click on my black copy icon, you'll see the picture comes back in there, but the blacks are a little bit gray. So what I'm going to do is highlight my black copy channel, go up to image, to adjustments, to levels, and then I'm going to push the level over to about 29, and that blackens my gray lines back up. Okay. So now basically what you have is you have CMYK channels should all be white, and then my black copy channel is going to have my black line work in it now. Jeff Potts wants to know why CMYK as opposed to RGB, because CMYK is what you print in. RGB is for online posting. So for example, once I get this colored, I will make a JPEG of it if I want to show it online, and then I'll change it into an RGB file and then post it as an RGB file, because it won't post, the color won't be right if you post it as a CMYK. But when I go to printers, I want it in a CMYK. Clydean, maybe later. I don't have any plans, immediate plans for a digital copy, but I may do that after the campaign. After the physical copies are fulfilled early next year, I might offer up a digital copy. I'm looking into it. Well, like I said, I do things the old-fashioned way, and I will. I'm not a person. I don't like. I don't. How should I say this? I don't like learning new stuff. Anyway, for the next campaign, any chance of a treasury-sized option? Can you imagine what the shipping would be on that? I would love to do a treasury size, but I don't think that that's a viable option, to be honest with you, because of shipping problems. It'd be so expensive. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and make this file a little bit smaller. So I go to image size, and I'm going to make, this is 1200 DPI right now. I'm going to drop it down to 800, which is still too high, but I'm just that way. So we make it smaller, and then I'll zoom up. Oh, too much. There we go. Okay. And I want to make note of this as well, because I don't want to take credit for something that I did not invent. I am doing this the old-fashioned way with, this is where I learned all this stuff, was from Mark Chiarello's book. Okay. And like I said, it's probably archaic in terms of technique, and there's probably faster ways to do this stuff, as Clydean was pointing out. But then I would actually have to buy another book and read that. So, maybe at some point I will, but this ain't that point. So essentially what I do then is I go in, and let's say I want to, well, we'll start with a hair. Well, actually, no, we won't. What I'm going to do is lay in a, the first thing I do is lay in a color, like I would if I was doing a watercolor. I'm going to select the whole thing, and then I'm going to choose a color. out of my color bar that I want to use as a background color, which is going to be my base color. Like if I was doing a watercolor painting or an oil painting or something, I would lay a color over the entire thing as a background color or a base color, and then I would so I'm going to fill this whole thing at 100%. And so that, that's too yellow. Give me a second here. Messing around in the color bar. Okay. So I'm going to go back in and fill this something a little, there we go. Okay. So again, if you look at my channels, you'll see that the color drops into the CMYK color channels, but does not touch the black copy. And the way this is set up, obviously, is you can see your colors and you can see the line work through the colors. So it's kind of like transparent, which makes it sort of easy to see stuff. So then I go ahead and I'm going to go in here and zoom in close enough. I'm going to take my lasso tool and it's not working. Why isn't it working? It's nothing like giving a tutorial. There we go. Okay. Okay. So the idea here is, and once I make a circle like this, I have to push down the shift key so I don't lose it. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw, keep my line inside the black line, right? I keep my hand down on the shift key so that I don't lose the line I've previously drawn. Because if you don't hold down the shift key, if I were to start to do another circle like this, the other ones would disappear, right? So that's why we hold down the shift key. And like I said, these are coloring techniques that were used probably 20 years ago, and they may have changed, but this is still how I do things. And until I get motivated enough to learn a new method, which I don't know that's going to be happening anytime soon, I will continue to do it this way. Now, this is the most tedious process of coloring, and that's why many colorists hire people to flat their colors for them, because that's what I'm doing right now, is flatting. And because people do this incredibly tedious work for relatively cheap. Like you can get flatted people to flat pages for you for 20 or 25 bucks a page, which is pretty cheap considering how long it actually takes to do this. And I'm not doing a great job of staying in the lines here, so you'll have to forgive me, but I'm trying to be a little bit faster at this than normal, so I'm not boring everybody to tears here, which I probably already am doing. But I think my witty banter sort of saves the video a little bit. Okay, so as you can see what I'm doing here, this is, you just sort of continue this process along until you've got the entire body of hair here, I guess you'd call it, traced out. And again, I'm holding the shift key down so I don't lose the stuff that I've already done. All right, so you kind of get the idea, right? I'm not going to finish this, but So then I'm going to pick a base color for her hair, right? So I'm going to go over to my color bar, which I don't think is showing up on the screen, but you'll have to trust me. The color picker window will open up once you hit the little square over there, the color squares. And I want her hair to be, she's blonde, so we're going to go lighter yellow here. Because I always pick a real light color. That way I should say a medium valued color so that I can put in dark shadows on it and then lighter highlights on it. But again, this could be, you could make it blue if you wanted to for this, for the flatting purposes, and I'll show you why in just a minute. So I go up to edit, and then I pick my color, and then I go to fill, and there we go. So it just automatically fills. Oops, sorry, wrong way. So it just automatically fills that entire area that I just circled, okay? So much like a cooking show where they show you how to prep it, but then the finished piece is already in the oven, guess what? That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna switch to this, and now it's what it looks like already flatted, okay? Let me check the chat here real quick because I've been rambling on for a while. Mike Miller says he's, laugh out loud, he's flatting right now too. I've got the Hi-Fi book. It's a little bit more complicated than Mike or Mark's Chiarello's book. Bruce wants to know, do you do all of your own coloring only on, pardon me, only on covers and single illustrations? I don't do the interiors because I'm just not very fast. Yeah, we're going to get to that in just a second, Joe. So what I will do next is, and hopefully this will show up. Some of the boxes for some reason don't show up when I'm sharing the screen. I would have to actually turn my camera onto the screen for you guys to see everything. The problem with that is the light from the screen tends to flare out the color a little bit, so you don't see it as well. So you're just going to have to trust me on some of the stuff that when the boxes, you don't see the boxes on the screen that happen to come up. But what I would do here is I'll take my magic wand and go in and activate, make sure it's set at contiguous, because if you have it on, if you have contiguous not checked, like if there was 4 or 5 different things on this cover that were the same color yellow, it would activate all of them, okay? And I just want to do these one at a time for this purpose. So I have the contiguous box marked, and that's up at the top. Actually, you should be able to see that. Yeah, you can. Right up here is contiguous. So I have it marked because I just want each particular one color area to be activated at a time. Okay, so we've done her hair. So now I'm going to go over to my channels box, and I'm going to create a new channel, okay? And I'm going to call this one hair, which I don't know, you probably can't see the box, but it comes up and it says new channel, then it has a name, and I just name it hair. And then I click OK on that, and that creates me a new channel down here. It says hair, which I believe you guys can see. Yes, you can. It's right underneath the black copy there on the right-hand side. So what I do then is I make sure my CMYKs are activated, and I go up here to my control across the top, my Photoshop controls, which are across the very top of the screen, which I don't think you guys can see. And I'll go ahead and copy that, okay? So I copy the area that's activated, and then I go down here to hair, and you can see the dancing ants, right, are on the hair channel. Now I simply go in there, edit, go to edit and paste, and it pastes in a gray version of the hair, okay? So then I go back up to my CMYK. I'm going to click on my black copy of the eyeball so I can see the black line work, okay? And the dog barks. So I'm going to deselect that. Now I'm going to go up here with my magic wand, and I'm going to hit the flesh tone. Okay, now in this case, if I take off the contiguous box and I activate the flesh tone here, that's going to activate her hand and her face, all that same color, okay? And that's fine. So now I'm going to go ahead and edit, and I'm going to copy that, okay? Then I'm going to go over once again to my channels box, and I'm going to create new channel, and we're just going to call this one flesh. And then, okay, and then there creates my new channel, which is flesh. I'll put the old eyeball on that. Let's deactivate the CMKY and everything else. And so the only eyeball I have activated is on the flesh channel, right? And you can see the dancing ants. So then I go ahead and go up to edit, push fill, okay, and it didn't do it because I must not have copied it, right? Okay. So I'm going to edit, I'm going to copy on my, I'm going to activate my CMYK channel. My dancing ants are still there for the flesh tones. I'm going to copy those. Okay. Now I'm going to go down to the flesh, and then I'm going to go to edit, fill, and why is it not doing anything? Okay. Edit, copy. I'm going to make sure I'm not doing anything in layers. Okay, edit, copy. We go on to flesh. Then we go edit, paste. There it is. I don't know what I was doing wrong, but that's technology for you, and especially me when I'm actually working on technology. So now, here's what I've got. I've got two extra, we call them, they're channels. You can call them layers, whatever you want, but technically they're channels. So I've got one with flesh, and I've got one with her hair. Okay, so let's do her dress now. See if I can do it without screwing it up. And you can see if I don't activate the black copy channel, there I did, there I didn't. You can basically see what you have here is just masses of color. And all I'm doing is activating those masses of color. So now we just did the gun, right? So I edit, copy that, create a new channel. I'm going to call this one gun. Okay. Now, probably screwed something up, but let's pretend I didn't. Let's go down to the gun channel. Let's click off the CMYK. So we have the dancing ants showing us our gun on our new channel. Now I should be able to paste that in there, and there it is. Okay, so now basically what I'm doing is what I call, it may not be the proper technology or terminology, but I call them masks. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and finish the job here, then I'll explain to you why I did this. Okay, so now we're activating her dress. I'm going to copy that. And I don't want a million layers because it just makes the file bigger and bigger and slows you down. So I'm going to put the dress in the hair file because the gray here will not touch this gray, so it's not problematic. So I can put these on the same layer. And of course, it's not working. Let's try it again. Edit, copy, go to hair, edit, paste. There we go. So now our dress is in there. Okay, so essentially what I've done is, excuse me, I've created masks for her hair, her face, her dress, the gun. The handle's very small, so I'm not really all that worried about that. So why did I do that? Okay, because if I go in here and color her hair, right, and I decide that I want to make this hair a different color. Let's say you're working for DC Comics. And let's say you color this, you're finished, and everyone says, that's great. Well, the writer decides, you know what? I'm going to make her a redhead. And you're like, what? And so now you have to go in and make her hair red, right? But you've already done all this rendering and all this stuff in here, right? So it's like, what? And so essentially you'd have to start all over with this hair. But now that I have saved her hair here as one solid area or color, I can activate that. Okay. Then I can go onto the hair channel. I can activate that hair. I can go up here to CMYK. All right, now I haven't done any rendering here, but just watch this. So if I go up to my control panels and go to edit, or pardon me, image, and I go to adjustments, I can go to like, hue or saturation or color balance. Let's go to color balance. You're not going to see this. The window's not going to pop up on your screen, but you get color balance, a little window shows up, and you have these toggles on here so you can move the color around. So now I can just slide this thing back and forth, and I can adjust this hair color, to maybe a different color. You can see the color is changing on her, but not necessarily drastically. Okay. So maybe a better option would be to go to hue and saturation. So let's go to hue and saturation. And that window comes up. And basically you have a toggle for a hue, you have a toggle for saturation, you have a toggle for lightness. Now I can move this toggle bar around to see how I can change the color to her hair. So I could essentially turn her into that's a purple head, but through moving these things around, I can create different colors for her hair. Now, if I had done detail work in here, like, there's a bunch of line work or different colors in here, all of those would be affected by this hue as I slid the bar back and forth. And I could essentially, without having to go back in and re-render any of the color, I could just go into a combination of hue, saturation, and color balance and create a new color for her hair without damaging or going over or changing any of the details I put in there. And the same with her flesh tone or her dress color. So you create those masks. It just takes a few extra minutes, but you create those extra channels on there, then it gives you the freedom to go in, and if you have to make color adjustments after you've already submitted something and said, here's my final, and they go, no, we don't like that purple dress, make it gray, make it white, whatever. You can actually go in and do that pretty easily if you have saved these color shapes as separate channels. The problem is if you don't do that and you go in and render the heck out of this, right, and it just looks beautiful. Now, you can't just hit it with the magic wand and activate the color because it's not all the same, and the magic wand will only activate like color areas. So if you have like fades and stuff in there, it's going to activate portions of it, but not all of it. And so then you basically have to go in and lasso the entire thing over again and then go back in and make your adjustments, which is a pain in the butt because then you're doing the work twice. So it makes sense to save these as separate channels so that you can go back in and activate them and make quicker changes if you need to. So anyway, there you have it. That's kind of what I wanted to show you guys. It's not, like I said, this isn't going to be a lengthy yeah, Clydene's talking old school here. Murphy Anderson had a comfy wee little old ladies colored And they could do a whole page in less than an hour with rubelisks. We used to have to take we'd take Xerox copies of the inked pages, right? Like make them 8.5 by 11. Then we had these color charts. I still have one that are these huge charts that had squares of color, and they'd have all the different printers' colors on them. We're testing out the Ethernet.
Oh, are you super clear?
I hope so. Everybody says so far.
Every wrinkle and every.
Yep.
Let's see. Oops.
So then you'd go in and try to estimate that color. But you'd color it in with, you know, a marker, a colored pencil, whatever, on this black and white copy.
Sorry.
And then you would indicate, like, if that color that you wanted it to be was like on your chart was like N236. Excuse me. Then you'd write N236 in the panel border with a line going to that color. And you had to do, that's how we colored stuff. And then that would go to these people who'd cut what they call rubelisks, which are different layers for each color for the printer. And those are the good old days. Yeah, well, no, I'm just old. And so
life experience.
Yep. And so we're basically doing that now in Photoshop, creating layers. And people are doing it in other programs as well, probably more efficiently than I am. But like I said, can't teach an old dog new tricks. And I am an old dog.
He's an old dog.
And it's a miracle that I learned to do what I actually did learn to do.
Something I was gonna. Jeffrey, Clydeen. Oh, love her, Jeffrey. Let's see. My statistical hero is here. Leg kick's here.
Because leg kick is always here. All right.
Viva la revolution.
Yeah. Mike Miller's actually flatting right now as we're talking. He's doing NFTs, though, trying to make huge money on these like digital art things that people pay big bucks for, which I don't understand.
You better get on some of that.
Malin is the wolf and Aaron is the wild dog. That's right.
We're getting there. Is Malin now going to be like an adjective?
There was one color for black skin. I'd believe it. Is Malin what?
Is he like an adjective now? Like,
well, he has that.
Oh, you've gone all Malin.
Maybe.
Viva!
Yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much all I had. I really wanted.
Oh, now you're done.
Well, I can't help it if you came in late.
I just got home.
I don't have any videos or anything prepared. I showed the page.
You do that.
What is that dummy eating?
I don't know.
Give me
your pencil sharpener, so there's shavings all over the floor.
This dog is. Where's my other one?
I don't know. You probably ate it.
Anyway, yeah. So I just kind of wanted to do Shelly's like, do shorter videos. So that's why I'm doing shorter videos.
But not live streams.
Well, yeah, but this was a test out the Ethernet.
Oh, and does it look better?
I think it does.
Okay, like look better is relative.
Right.
Are we clearer? Because we probably don't look better.
That's right. We're clearer.
Ooh, a new sketch.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Clydeen got busted for coloring someone too dark who was on Saved by the Bell. How about that?
Oh, goodness. Goodness.
Let's see. Yesterday's Fool says it looks clearer and better.
Okay, better's relative.
Oh, well. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. This is for you. So.
Oh no.
No lag. That's good.
Oh, good.
You're not all pixelated. That's good.
Oh, we have been. I watched one 2 nights ago. I was like, oh, we're all blurry.
Look at that. A truck with a Nebraska decal in the back window cut me off yesterday. Shook my fist, yelling, "Well, Presty!" They probably think
it was you.
That's a new swear word. I didn't cut anybody off.
But you have a Nebraska in the back window.
Ha! Mario Lopez complained. He was too dark.
Oh, that's gosh. Funny. Seriously, get a hobby.
Oh my goodness. All right. So anyway, cool. There's my little coloring tutorial.
Oh, I missed
it. You could have learned so much.
Did you use your little whitey
thing? No. It was all digital.
I know.
I used the wipey thing on the screen. Now we blend by doing this.
Okay, so Joe, how did you know I had that thought? How did you know? You're like psychic.
We can see the shine on your head.
Well, I was looking at like.
Can you see this?
That one.
Joe, tell me if you can see this.
This one.
No, Joe, tell me if you can see this.
Can you feel it? It's so clear.
Yeah, did you see that clearly?
Mm.
Oh.
What?
Oh, I see. Now it's just getting lively. Just when I'm getting ready to leave.
And Shelly shows up and it gets sassy.
Ah. There we go. Anybody else?
Thanks,
Oh, Clydine, that's very sweet. Thank you so much. That's
even with my rogue hair.
That's worth this, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
Now teach Ethan to embrace the 21st century technology with digital miracle. I will never, well, never say never, right? I am not inclined to draw digitally.
Oh, no, he's a purist.
Yeah, I don't really see that ever happening. As long as I can still scan the originals.
Yeah, and you have something in your hand, and that's good.
Well, Clydine, we miss you too. We've missed San Diego for what, 2 years now, is it?
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of excited.
That was like
to
where we
get
got
back.
to see a lot of our friends, and
yeah, so hopefully it'll come back.
Only for the last how many years? Well, 30 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boom. Well, that's what you're doing is coloring it digitally.
Yeah, you can scan the original, color it digitally, boom, NFT. I know. I'm not anti-NFT, but I need someone to hold my hand because it's
oh, I'm here.
It's technically, do you know how to do it though?
No.
You'll
hold your hand.
You'll hold my hand
while you struggle. And I'll go, come on, Lopresti.
She'll wipe the sheen off of my brow as I'm laboring on these.
I'll be like, come on, get it together, Lopresti.
Joe, who's Aram?
Aram, that's what I'm calling you now. Aram. Hey, you know what? When you're typing fast, they're close. They're close.
You know, they just totally undermined your whole attempt to do a nice Star Trek II gesture, which would have got you a standing ovation, but instead you get a cannonball because you misspelled my name. But I will. I'll do this though.
What are you gonna do?
I will.
You gonna scroll?
No, I'll do this.
Scroll.
Logical.
Or maybe one of these. Yeah. So I'll give you a little Star Trek love there.
So Clydine remembers when I first went to San Diego. Wow, it was a long time ago.
God, that was it was. Drawing like music should be done in analog, in my opinion. And I agree, Bruce.
Kentucky.
Oh, look at this, Mike. What do you think of this? My friend bought a Harley Quinn NFT. He's not a comic book fan, so that's why I think it's just a bubble.
Oh. Well, the purist and then I'll read it, but I don't want to keep it, right? Is that the thing?
An NFT is like a digitally created piece of art. So you get, like, when you buy it, you're the only one who has it. But then they resell them. And then people make copies of them. So you have to check the code chain or whatever it's called to make sure that it's an original and not a copy. And it just seems all very, very, very 21st century to me.
Very Jetsons. It might be.
Oh boy.
Well, I thought you were laughing at me.
No. I was laughing at this.
I know now.
Let's take a closer look, shall we, Coach? I don't think actually it's not Fred, but it does look like Fred.
Could be. That is too funny. It does look like Fred.
It does. That is so funny. I'd never thought of that before. But no, that's like a classic video. That guy, I don't even think I did that in the 30s or something. It was like, look at me, I'm the strongest man in the world.
Go right through me.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine getting shot in the gut by a cannonball? That would hurt.
Yeah.
He says William Frawley. That's the actor who played Fred on I Love Lucy.
Serious. Wow. So what does NFT stand for? Cannonball run through.
Yeah, it's a swear word.
No.
That's weak. That's weak statistical zero. I'm giving you a boo on that. That's what Jeff Stout believes. NFT will be how they bring value to digital comics.
NFT. Tell me what it means.
Not for, I don't know.
Not for technology. Not
non-fungible token.
Something.
Is that seriously what that means? Non-fungible token? Or are you just making stuff up?
Oh, I don't even know what that means.
Well, I know, but that's why I thought it might be real, because it's like might be some sort of weird digital language that we just are not familiar with. See, there it is again. Non-fungible token. It means that
fungible. What's like a fungi?
You know, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't grow fungus. There's no mushrooms involved. I don't know what that means. See, Clydine.
Right,
I
gotta figure it out today, I guess.
Oh no! Wait a minute. Now is it
fungible?
Fungible. I see.
I don't know.
The hard G. Fungible.
A
hard G.
Oh, hard G.
So we've learned from this. We've learned absolutely nothing. Absolutely, just it's a non-fungible.
I couldn't even catch it. It was so far above my head.
I know it's a non-fungible token. So there you go. I don't want to spend any money on non-fungible tokens.
Fungible scares me.
It does. It makes me uncomfortable. Very uneasy. So I don't understand. I don't get it at all.
I'll figure it out though.
Will you?
For next show. Yeah, because that's what I do.
So Shelley's going to come in with an explanation of non-fungible tokens on Sunday. So I want you guys to be aware of that.
Fungible?
Oh, no, wait a minute.
It's like a hard
No, he's saying it's fungible.
Fungible?
So now Mike would know because he's an NFT
Phonetically?
guy. So he's saying fungible. So it's a non-fungible token, which still means nothing to me.
Can you do the Vulcans?
Of course. I can do it with both hands.
We got skills.
Is his thumb out? I think his thumb is out when he does it. Yeah. Live long and prosper.
I don't know if I can do it left.
Man,
I can't do it left-handed.
Any true Trekkie can do that.
Like money is fungible. It doesn't have. Okay.
Like money is fungible. It doesn't have individual identity once stuck in your bank account. So non-fungible means that it retains an individual identity. Well, then why don't they just say that?
Individual identity comics?
Individual identity token. How about that? But no, it's non-fungible.
Individual identity either.
It's non-fungible.
That's too sad. Since I'm a twin.
Okay.
Oh, we don't go there.
Nope, we're not going there.
Because she's batshit crazy.
Okay, see, we're not going there.
I went there. I went all the way. You
can't
funge it up.
You can't.
Bruce.
It means you can't funge it up. That's right.
We'll find a way.
See, now Mike is defending it, saying they are saying it. That's the word that describes it. I don't like that word.
We don't like it.
I don't like the word because it doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, it does now because you told me what it meant, but even Christmas.
Statistical zero. I came to this channel to get booed by a starfish. Weird times we live in. That's for sure.
It is. I mean, and they're getting stranger all the time, and we're going to try to keep up with the times by
art. Art T-Bear.
I know I'm melting down over non-fungibles.
Oh.
Doesn't take much to piss me off.
And all night I'll be like, no.
And since Art's here, let me plug his book, Black and White Volume 2, Man vs. Machine, is on Indiegogo right now and funding. He has about a week left, I think, of his first 30 days. So get out there and back Art.
Nice.
Art does terrific artwork.
I hear there's another one on there.
Yeah, there is. It's called Wraith of God, and we're approaching. We're like one backer away, I think, from 96,000.
Crazy.
But right now, I'm focusing on the number of backers because I want to get up to 1,500 backers so that we can get more readers out there. Well, gotta have it ended in
00 because then that's nice, even number, and
yes,
I'm sure hackers or someone will be able to make counter. Probably.
Jeff Stout says the fungible among us.
Ooh, I like that.
Clydine gives a shout out, says Mike Miller is right with exclamation marks.
Ooh,
and Mike
print that off.
Mike is right. Yeah, I'd say
never
that
know,
hang it on your wall, Mike. That's right. You just now got an alert from YouTube that I was streaming?
I never got one.
Because I've been streaming for an hour. So
yeah, we probably should sample the twins from The Shining. Red rum.
I totally forgot about that.
Yep.
What do they say?
Red rum.
Red rum, do they?
It's murder backwards.
Oh.
I taught you something.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
I taught this morning. I taught now.
I'm not a big fan of that movie. I'm just not. I didn't think it was.
Scared the crap out of me.
I thought it was
scared the Fungibles out of me.
It was weird, but I don't know how scary it was. It was just very weird.
Freaked me out. Yeah, fulfillment will be fun.
Yeah.
In fact, I was telling somebody about that this morning. Like, oh, it's so cool. Oh, we have to send all that out.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to like convert a room in the house to.
I can't imagine.
Shipping.
My back is going to be feeling
good.
But I
hear shipping and handling is free.
It is.
Handling is free.
Handling is free. Shipping is never free. Handling
is
free. Always free.
Yeah. What else we got?
Okay, there you go, Shelley. You've been corrected. The twins never say that.
They
Danny
don't.
does.
They just ride their little bikes. But
no, that's the little boy. The girls don't ride the bikes. They just like appear in the hallway.
They just hold hands and stand. That's what we did in kindergarten.
Right.
Dang it.
This is the greatest get off my lawn moment in the history of this channel. I don't like fungible.
Yep.
Gosh darn it.
And our dog, his angry eyebrows, that's what he looks like. Get off my lawn. The old man.
Yeah, he does. Our dog looks like an old man. No, I never received. He never received one. Well, you're going to have to go back and watch it. It's basically a tutorial in coloring or old-fashioned coloring because I'm an old-fashioned guy. So it actually may be of no value to anyone. Because everybody's going, oh, look at what Erin, isn't that cute? No one does that anymore.
I can do it. Jeffrey says I can do it.
Erin will go all Dr. Zachary Smith. Oh, making back. That's a reference to Lost in Space, by the way.
Oh!
Shelley, my dear, you can fulfill those orders.
Hopefully.
Jeff, fulfill this. Okay.
Oh my gosh. The old naked lady in the bathtub was too much.
Oh my gosh.
Well, where are we going?
It's good you don't like fungible because these are non-fungibles. Well, there you go. I feel better about it already. Because if it was fungible, then I would have a trouble if it was fungible.
I hate it when you're fungible.
Okay, here's Clayton saying, go to Brian. Clayton is saying, don't watch my channel. She's saying, go to Brian Haberlin for digital art tutorials if you want to keep up with the times.
They got their schnauzer trimmed with a mohawk. Oh, we should so do that.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, the constant, he barks
a lot. I can tolerate the constant
barking.
But
he's so cute. Ugh, he's so cute. Yeah.
Well, that's true. Some of us colored 1,000 pages. Clayton's been coloring longer than I have and much more frequently than I have.
Well, you need to get one of those things where you can do it right on the screen. What is it?
See, I told him at the beginning of the show.
I've been trying to get him to get one.
No, I said, as long as this works, I'm not going to get it.
You've had it for like
57
years.
I had this when we lived in Hillsborough, before we moved to Florida, before we moved back to Tiger.
That's before Sammy was born.
I know. So it's over 20, but it still works.
Little Presty.
Why would I spend money on something new if this still works?
Why would we get an Ethernet cable when we have Wi-Fi? I'm just saying.
Okay, but that wasn't working. That wasn't working. Okay. This
I need to get
works.
a Sharpie and give you a mohawk. Oh, Clayton. Poor thing.
Okay, you know what, Sons of Liberty?
But I don't color very well. It wouldn't be a very good looking mohawk.
You need to learn how to spell Shelley's name correctly is what you need to do.
Okay. That's how it is on my birth certificate, I think.
You keep saying that, but then you don't spell it that way.
That's what my mom, because my mom decided to change it.
Why would you change your name after the birth certificate?
I don't know. We can't ask her.
I know she's gone, but she was a great lady, and we had fun with her. Erin could wear about 30 gold chains like Mr. T. I don't even know what that means.
You pity the fool. Oh my God.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. Wait a minute.
Oh, a twin story.
Wait a minute. No, there it is. Yeah, we figured that out. That's why we did it.
But it's running from down. I had to get 100-footer downstairs, weaving its way
up. The problem is it's a what would you call it? A looks thing. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not very attractive. Yeah, it's not fungible at all.
Well, it's not attractive.
She got this huge cable running now all the way through our house, and it's it's an eyesore. But that's why we didn't want to do it. But
that's okay.
We did it.
Our house looks like crap right now, anyway.
That's true.
Tell us the twin story. I don't have a lot of good ones.
Well, no. Jeff wants me to tell him a story that starts with this.
We changed classes in 6th grade, and her teacher didn't notice. My teacher did because he had twins. So
he was a little sharper. There you go.
And we both overachieved in athletics, and we're both a mess right now.
Eyesore. Yes, that's what I was looking
Eyesore. Mm-hmm.
Aesthetic. I'll go with that as well.
Ooh, looks like crap.
It's a bad aesthetic.
With my vocab, it was looks like crap.
Yeah.
Oh, you had to go there. Did you feel it? A double.
Get a double for that.
Did you feel both of them were so like clear now?
Yeah, that's right. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. All right. I'm going to wrap this up because I want to eat lunch. Gosh darn it. It's 1:41. I haven't had lunch yet. You need a nap and I need lunch.
I got up at 6 this morning. Sucky.
I didn't. I kind of slept in. Sorry. Well, you can sleep in tomorrow because you don't have to teach tomorrow.
No, I do teach tomorrow. I don't teach Friday.
Oh, the heck with that then.
Did you ever meet? Yeah.
Yes, I met Neil Adams. Okay, here's 2 Neil Adams stories. And then I'm going to have lunch. Okay, so the first I met Neil Adams when I was in LA. I can see you in the screen. You know, you're doing stuff behind my back and I can see you.
But they're pretending that you don't see.
I see. Okay. I get it. So Neil.
Not the neck.
So he was opening up a continuity studios in LA when I lived in LA. Mm-hmm. And so I was in college and I went there and showed him my portfolio.
And he said,
well, he was
off with you.
No, he actually was very encouraging. And said that, maybe we might be able to use you at some point kind of thing, which is not exactly a you suck, get out the door, but it wasn't, hey, you're hired either. But so I felt okay about myself. It was actually because he can do some pretty brutal. He's known for his candidacy when he's giving reviews. Mm-hmm. So then years later at the Boston show, you can't even say Boston without. I did it.
Boston show.
I flew in actually, and so we were in the Boston show, and this was probably 5 years ago now. And actually, it was longer ago than that because Obama was still president, so that would have been 4, 5, 6 years ago probably. Mm-hmm. And so he comes over and lectures me for like 30 minutes on why I wasn't charging for my signatures, my autographs.
Oh, I remember that.
And he came and just lectured me about charging for my autograph. You're devaluing yourself by not charging for your autograph, blah, 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 blah. And I kept going, Neil, I said, I'm not Neil Adams. I'm not you. Okay. I can't charge $50 for an autograph, or whatever. He charges a lot. And so I kept saying, Neil, I'm not you. And then he would keep lecturing me. And then he finally left, and his son came up to me after he was done. And he said, he just wants you to charge for signature so he can raise his prices.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So yeah,
that's mine.
Those are my 2 Neil Adams experiences.
I wouldn't get much, but I think it's more than 50 now. Yeah.
See, Statistical Zero's leaving. If he's leaving, then I get to leave and go.
You know what? I'm out.
Clydene's heading out. Bye, Clydene. Thank you for dropping in. It was good to talk to you again.
Yeah. Awesome. He even charges his grandkids when he signs birthday cards.
Where is that at?
Oh, the one you were just on.
Neil even charges his birthday cards. That's pretty good.
That's a good one.
That is pretty darn funny. In fact, that's worthy of.
It needs one of those.
Yeah, it's
worthy. It needs it. Very worthy.
That was funny.
All right.
Aaron Adams. There you go. Adams. Art, I didn't want to do this to you, but you can't miss one.
Now you got one.
Art, you
join
can't
the club.
Like that.
That's funny.
He has a huge number of grandkids, so he's just soaking them. Oh, that's funny. All right. Okay, so we're out of here.
Get out of here.
Thank you all for joining me for this quick little afternoon delight.
I'm glad I got home.
What's today? Wednesday? So Professionals tomorrow night. I think Art to Bear is hosting.
Are we on
today's Wednesday,
Billy's show tonight?
Oh, I don't know. I have to ask him. I haven't heard anything.
Okay. We might be on Tucci's show tonight.
He's doing a new show called Comic
Couples.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Like they want more of this. I don't get it.
More of this because you can't ever get too much of this. Okay. Anyway, Thank you all for joining me. Remember to back Wraith of God if you haven't. Check it out.
So cool.
The link is in the description. And we'll keep pushing forward, and I'll post more art, and we'll do more videos, and we'll all have a grand time, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Bye.